deal with airplane peanuts.
The insane domino effect of Ali Siddiq's esteemed comedy career can be observed all throughout the current landscape of stand-up. Whether they know it or not, a vast majority of today's most independent comedians have been following the same exact blueprint to achieve long-term success that Ali Siddiq invented decades ago. And he finally just sat down with the receipts to prove it.
We're gonna go with this. So I've been doing stand-up 26 years. 26 years ago, nobody was saying that they were not moving to LA or New York besides me. And it's not a fucking person that can lie and say that it wasn't.
So you always knew that YouTube...
I was the first of independent. I'm not going to LA. I'm not going to New York. I'm gonna stay in Houston. I'm gonna do it from Houston. That's 26 years ago. It didn't really resonate to people until 2013 when I win Comedy Central's Comic to Watch in 2013, and I'm still in Houston. When I get on Def Jam in 08, season finale, I'm still in Houston. When I'm on Comedy Central, I'm still in Houston. When I'm on Showtime, I'm still in Houston. All this now, I'm staying home. Get the out here. Y'all copy. Y'all saw interviews that I said, and you saw what I was doing, and now you're trying to say it's this. I been said LA and New York. All them comics out there with all that, get the out of here, man. First independent. When everybody, we can go to the receipts. Everybody doing DVDs and trying to get deals on things. I'm already on XM Radio in 2009, making money off XM Radio. I'm doing audio DVDs. Makes no sense to me. If you in a car, you have a CD player. You can put my CD on and listen to me. You can't watch me on the way to the thing in the DVD if you're having a hard day.
Yeah.
Man, this is what I be talking about when people try to overlook what somebody else did because they'll give it. Now, I'm the first 4-part series ever in comedy.
Yeah.
Think about it. Still leading the game. Somebody else gonna try to come and do it and say, oh, they're gonna try to put it behind them. Every comic now, since Domino Effect 2, everybody got a grief story now. Since Domino Effect 1, everybody. No, let's go back before Domino Effect 1. Let's go back to Bigger Than These Bars. Since Bigger Than These Bars, everybody all of a sudden got a fucking jail story. I've been locked up. I've been da-da-da-da, woo. But I was incarcerated and didn't do it for 17 years before I went on Bring the Funny. I mean, before I went on Comedy Central and did Mexican Got on Boots.
Wow.
Yeah, the receipts.
Making the decision not to move to Los Angeles while pursuing a career in stand-up comedy might not sound like a big deal today in 2024, but back when Ali Siddiq first started his comedy journey in 1997, moving to New York or LA was an industry norm that was rarely questioned, especially by any comedians with aspirations to act in movies or sitcoms, which just makes it even more impressive that as a brand new comic fresh out of prison, Ali Siddiq instinctively knew back then what many of his peers in comedy have just recently discovered.
LA is not a place for stand-up. LA is like, they're new to stand-up. That's not the place that you go to develop stand-up. People think that shit and it's retarded because this is a movie sitcom place.
Yeah.
They're very new to stand-up. Who's the best LA who is even out of LA outside of D.L. Hughley?
Yeah, that's true.
You got Eric Blake, Scruncho, but you don't have a lot of comics that's out of Houston. You go to naming comics that's from Houston, that's from L.A.
Right, not as many.
How many? We got way more.
The downsides to all the possible distractions, manipulations, and red corporate tape that comedians are forced to navigate through while trying to do stand-up in Los Angeles has been well documented by now, and were some of the main driving forces behind the mass exodus of comedians from California to Austin, the city that is thought to be a new comedy hub completely unattached from industry bullshit. But according to Ali Siddiq, all of the recent hype and positivity surrounding the Austin scene still isn't enough to compete with what's going on in Houston.
Man, I think people are really delusional when it comes to how you develop stand-up. So you go to LA, you getting 4 to 7 minutes. How you develop an act like that?
Right.
In scattered time, how do you develop like that? When you in LA doing that, I'm in Houston doing 30 to 40 minutes every night. In Texas, the powerhouse of stand-up is Houston, then Dallas, then San Antonio.
So you'd say Austin's
Who's out of Austin besides Bryson Brown? Sam Kinison, Bill Hicks, Billy D. Washington, Thea Vidal.
But didn't they have to leave eventually?
They from Texas.
Yeah.
We had Chappelle used to be in the comedy club, the Laugh Spot, all the time in Houston. Steve Harvey had a spot I was still incarcerated with Steve Harvey. Rushion McDonald had a spot. The comedy something where all them started just joking. The Comedy Palace. We have a long history of stand up in Houston. Love Austin. They are young cousins, but if they think that people coming from LA to Austin makes Austin a powerhouse in comedy, shit, I'll be down.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I'll be down. I'm like,
that's
no,
true.
Still the strongest out of Houston.
Okay. You'd put that out of anywhere, New York versus Houston?
Yeah.
Wow.
What comic out of LA or New York could do a versus against me?
Well, that's just one. Okay. I guess if you're you would definitely think
I'm
this.
I'm a part of the team.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? I'm on the team.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Well, it's tough when you're talking to LeBron to say.
If anybody goes up against us, remember, I'm on the team.
Yeah.
So it's not like, well, they started with Kareem. It's like, no, I'm on the team.
Yeah.
And then you got Dez White, you got Billy D. Washington, you have a plethora of other comics. And then we got different genres. If you go clean, you go Christian, we got a lot. Yeah. So let's go with this. Say if this is a versus against any city.
Okay.
So you have to deal with me, you have to deal with Moamir.
Okay.
Those two alone is a problem.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
It's a tough way to go.
Houston needs a lot more respect, I feel like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a hard way to go with us.
I'm on Team Houston. I flipped.
Yeah.
Ali Siddiq started doing stand-up comedy before I was even born, and it's really hard to disagree with anything that he says, as his own legendary career is all the proof that he needs. A career which was accomplished without ever leaving Houston to chase opportunities in bigger cities or seek out advice from strangers.
So I've always had mentors that's been in my phone. None of my mentors were dead. None of my influences were dead. They were in my phone. I could call them. People get mentors that they have no connection to. I'm influenced by Digger. You ever talk to him? No.
That's hilarious.
Makes
Yeah.
no goddamn sense.
I've never thought about that.
I get on the phone. If I'm having a situation, I call them.
Yeah.
When Dick was alive, I would call him. The worst thing in comedy is that some of these older comics tell comics that they good. I mean, you had a good set. I never in the history of me have I ever told a new person that. It'd take you 10, 12 years to get that out of me. Because I'll stifle you. I'll stifle your growth.
That makes sense.
Rodney Winfield used to be on the edge of the bar every time I came off stage to tell me how terrible I did. Yeah, you almost was good tonight. It's like, damn.
Wow.
Never told me. And so I don't look for it. Mm-hmm. I just keep working. Like people would say, well, when did you know you was funny? I'm like, I don't. I'm still working on that part of it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Man, you tell these guys they had one good set and oh my goodness. It is. They in the club with shades on.
The authentic relationship Ali Siddiq has with his mentors in comedy is a huge advantage that allows him to continuously soak in new information from some all-time great comedians. And being raised in an area with a rich history of stand-up comedy is without a doubt a stroke of good fortune. But as Ali told us during this interview, most good things happen by accident. Even the creation of the first 4-part series in comedy history.
I did one, and people asked me what was the rest of the story. Wasn't any plan to it. I didn't plan to do 4. It started off as 1, and then people kind of wanted to know the rest of the story. So we started doing it in chunks of 3, I think. Yeah, something like that, chunks of 3. No real plan. I know people want to think, oh, you had a plan to do it. No. Mass majority of things that become something were mistakes. You know,
yeah.
Viagra was trying to grow hair. They had no idea they were going there. Oh, let's make my penis hard. Okay, let's go. Let's switch. Let's switch. It's like with the domino effects. When I go through the years, how we planned it after Domino Effect 1. Domino Effect 1 is supposed to be me just doing it. I'm going from here to there. So then once we start laying out the actual stories from year to year, we used to say, okay, we're gonna do from 16 to 19. We're gonna do from 19 to 21. We're gonna do from 21 to 25. So you go into that year. What happened to me year 17? The two most significant things. Then you go to 18. The three most significant things that happened in that year. It was then 19. You just go down the list of how many things that significant happened to you in that particular year that's putting this story together. This is a series now. This is not me just doing out. This is me doing the series of how things layer out in my life in connection to the next thing. When you do that, and then now in the course of me doing Domino Effect 4, right, is about to come out. It's 2 hours.
That's the longest one, right?
Yeah, longest one.
Yeah.
So I'm getting ready to shoot 2 new specials, right? This is
ridiculous.
In October, right?
Okay.
So after the 2 new specials, then I'm gonna start the 3-part series of In the Shadows. So that's gonna be 3 parts, and we're gonna go from 25 to maybe 33, which is significant because that's when I changed my look.
Okay.
Because Cheryl Underwood told me, Ali, in this business, it's 2 things as a male comic that you want to be if you want to be successful. Every woman gotta want to fuck you, and every dude gotta want to be you. That made perfect fucking sense to me. They gotta want to emulate you. What star ever have you ever seen that people did not want to? Man, people dressed like Frankie Beverly right now, all white. People just had I had a Michael Jackson jacket. I want to fucking be like Mike. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jordan. Anything that you have, they don't gotta want to be you. They gotta just want to look at the look and be that look. A woman ain't gotta want to physically have sex, but she gotta be attracted to you.
Right.
Women listen to people who they're attracted to. That's why with women comics, they gotta be together because another woman gonna judge their ass to death. Like, I ain't listening, but men look like, I like this big titty. So it's a catch-22.
Yeah.
So me looking different and not looking different that was away from me is me going back to what's my roots. My father, I started getting my clothes tailored again like my dad. My haircut is the same, low cut, edge up, looking crisp like my father. This is my father. This is my father's look. Always tailor-made, always low-cut, shirt button to the top. I've never not been like that because it went back to what is the most attractive look who I've ever seen. My father was a very attractive guy, man.
Yeah.
When I used to look at him, I'm like, man, I can't wait to look like my dad. Man, this motherfucker got the ladies. And he did. He tailor-made suit, big. I'm like, this is the crazy thing. I can't even grow facial hair like this, but his fucking mustache was some porno man shit. It was like, it's like a big thick ass mustache, low cut. He drove this car called a Peugeot.
I've never even heard of that.
Fancy ass car. Peugeot was blue with this buck leather in the side of it. Ladies love my pops.
Damn.
And I was like, I can't wait to look like this. Never made it, but my father was way more handsome than me. I'm like, I'll be looking at he looked better than me dead. I'm the one that washed him. I washed his body, and I looked at him like, he looked better than me dead. I got so much life in my face. This man look better than me. He's dead.
Holy shit. Well, I have a million questions. I could talk to you forever, but we got to wrap it up here. I'm honored to get to sit down with you. One of the best of all time to ever do it. Thank you so much for your time today.
Man, let me tell you something, man. This has been an honor. Anytime.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Guest spots from last week. The Joe Rogan Experience had on Tim Dillon and Tony Hinchcliffe. Dana White stopped by Flagrant. Two Bears, One Cave talked with Brian Simpson. Kill Tony this week was live from the YouTube Theater with Harland Williams and Adam Devine. We Might Be Drunk welcomed Chris DiStefano and Joe DeRosa. Chrissy D was also on Soder. Dan St. Germain and Jason Kelsey both made an appearance on Whiskey Ginger. Taste Buds battled Dad vs. Grandpa. Stavi's World welcomed Sam Morrill and Gary Veter. Are You Garbage had on Dov Davidoff. And Matt McCusker and Shane Gillis came all over your mom's house.
There was a cute girl that was working on the show, and she was like I don't know what the word is, but she was like following me. And I would try to literally the last person on set I wanted to know I was sneaking off to take shits. Yeah. The first time I took a shit, she was waiting outside the door. And I was in there like blowing up. And I opened the door and she was like, "You ready to go down?" I was like, "Great." You've been out here the entire time. You followed me up here.
Oh, no.
You know I've been in here for a half hour.
Ah, she clocked the dump.
She clocked a dump, dude. And I was taking my time. I was watching my phone and shit.
Chilling.
This past weekend with Theo Vaughn talked with Joey Diaz. Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast welcomed Salvo Cano and Louis J. Gomez. Louis was also on the Adam Friedland Show podcast. Ari Shafir was the guest on Burtcast. Stuff Island had a rough week. Eric Griffin was on You Know What Dude. Kazumi was the guest on Tiger Belly. Jason Mewes was on The Way Back. On You Be Trippin', Ari Shafir discussed Morocco with Zane Jareski. Bad Friends welcomed McCone's Granny. The Blocks Podcast had on George Wallace. Mike Birbiglia made it weird with Pete Holmes. Rick Glassman had Zach Woods take his shoes off. And Being Ian with Jordan welcomed Brian Garris. As far as new stand-up comedy specials that are either out right now or coming out soon, Keith Robinson, Different Strokes, and Joe Coy Live from Brooklyn are both out right now on Netflix. Salvo Cano's debut special, Terrified, is out right now on the 800-Pound Gorilla channel, along with Chris Griffin, Words Have Consequences. Also out on YouTube is Gary Veeder, It Could Be Worse, and Ali Siddiq, Domino Effect Part 3.
They have tape and they got film and they have a mountain of evidence against you. And I said, but they ain't got no concrete evidence against me. He said, that is not a legal term. I don't know what concrete evidence is, but they got a lot of sheetrock on your ass.
Domino Effect Part 4, Pins and Needles, will be coming out this Sunday on Father's Day, which will complete the first 4-part series in comedy history, altogether adding up to nearly 6 hours of Ali Siddiq's life story. Another new special to look forward to that will be coming out next month on July 9th is Sam Morril, You've Changed, which will premiere on Prime Video, and June 13th, Hannah Einbinder, Everything Must Go, will be out on Max. And one more exciting comedy event taking place this summer, Camp Comedy is a 3-day all-inclusive comedy festival taking place this Labor Day weekend in the Berkshires, which will include a mix of classic summer camp vibes and stand-up comedy. Other than that, be sure to check out our most recent video about Kill Tony sensation Drew Nickens. Our video details his entire journey to Kill Tony stardom, including months of interviews with Drew before his name was even pulled, going all the way back to April of 2023. That video we made about Drew almost turned into a mini documentary about the process of getting on Kill Tony. The entire story of Drew Nickens is wild, so we'll post it on the end screen right after this. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're interested in some free Joke World stickers, check out the link in the description below. Oh, and please subscribe.
At Joke World. That's it, at Joke World.
And the world is WRLD.
That's a great YouTube channel, Joke World. Check it out.